Sasquatch is the legendary ape-like creature of Western Canada. But Tom Steenberg's interest goes way beyond curiosity. He's part investigator, part hunter. Sunday Edition's Richard Gisbert spent some time with Alberta's Sasquatch Authority, both at home and out in the field.
Tom Steenberg is searching for the Sasquatch. He thinks it's out there somewhere in the foothills around Calgary. But hold it. He knows what you're thinking. You're thinking he's nuts. And he admits some people in his field are. In fact, he's got a file on them.
And here I have my lunatic wrench file.
Tom's got lots of files at his place. He's got maps, he's got books, he wrote one of them, and he has plaster casts of some awfully big feet. He's got clippings and a pretty good handle on how the media works.
Most papers, they usually do a thing on the Sasquatch every now and then when there's nothing better to put in the paper.
Coincidentally, this report is being aired during the notoriously slow Christmas period. Tom Steenberg takes the Sasquatch phenomenon seriously, and unlike some of the people in his lunatic fringe file,
Baby Bigfoot found, you know.
He's done some serious investigating. But he knows that in a society in which you're often judged by the company you keep, he's keeping some strange company.
But you gotta have a sense of humor in this. You really do.
Why?
I don't know, you gotta take a little light, I guess. If they're too serious, I'd have ulcers by now.
Stories of the Sasquatch, or Bigfoot as the Americans call it, have floated around the West for almost 2 centuries. More recently, some suspicious-looking film has appeared, the kind of stuff that leads to the use of adjectives like purported and alleged. Tom Steenberg is more interested in physical evidence than film or video. He's got plaster casts of some size 22s from as far away as California. He's always on the lookout for a hoax. Nevertheless, these casts have made a real impression on him.
Now, if this was some kind of large human foot, or some kind of fate based on a human foot, these 2 bulges should be down around here. Where they are indicates that this is a foot designed with different leverage.
So what does that tell you about the quality of the evidence?
Very convincing, circumstantial evidence.
Beneath another wall of Sasquatch books sits another Alberta expert. Vladimir Markotich, anthropologist, has edited a book on the Sasquatch and its legendary cousins from all over the world, notably the Yeti, the abominable snowman.
If Sasquatch exists, it's one of the greatest discovery in biology, because it's enormous. And last time a primate was discovered was gorilla, some close to 100 years ago. And if it doesn't exist, then it's a part of Canadian folklore. So either way, it is legitimate to collect it and to study it.
It's a bit of an odd couple. Markotich handles the academic side, Steenberg the field work. Every pin on Tom Steenberg's Alberta map marks a report of a sighting, and he says he's checked them all out, interviewing each of the witnesses.
I asked them how tall they think it was it covered in hair, what color the hair, how heavy do they think it was, did they smell anything.
One of the better sightings happened about an hour north of Calgary, a couple driving home one night.
About this point here, they saw what they basically described as an 8-foot black hair-covered gorilla walk out in the roadway. And it stopped and looked at them.
Right in front of them.
Right in front of them, right on the other end of the bridge, before the line started. And then it walked over the guardrail here, and he pulled up, and he stopped right on the roadway like this, and he watched as it crossed that 4-foot barbed wire fence down there, and he said he could see the trees moving as it ran through the trees.
Steenberg then does his best to follow in the creature's footsteps. He can't step over the barbed wire fence, so he goes through it. He looks for footprints, strands of hair, any evidence he can find. And if he ever comes across the real thing, if he ever sees a Sasquatch...
Well, if I'm carrying my rifle with me, they need hard physical evidence. There it is. I'd shoot it.
This is where Steenberg and his partner part company.
And people tell me, but you need a proof to convince universities. Well, I said, I don't care if they believe or don't believe. That's their business. So why should we shoot one? Because the number of them must be extremely small.
Now, I've often asked myself this question, would I be able to pull the trigger if I had one of my rifle sights? I don't know.
That shred of uncertainty is of little comfort to any Sasquatch that may be thinking of strolling out of the woods anytime soon. But as cruel as shooting a Sasquatch sounds, it's probably better than the alternative, shooting another tacky little film, the work of someone desperately seeking airtime, someone who's even willing to dress for the part. For Sunday Edition, I'm Richard Gisbert, in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains just outside Calgary.
And when we return, the gentle art of...